Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago, Bears fans. Let's get to the news. The NFL landscape is always shifting, and right now, there's some serious buzz about a potential blockbuster trade that could reshape how the NFC North looks moving forward. Rumors are swirling that the Detroit Lions, currently sitting at 8-5 and fighting to keep their playoff hopes alive, might be open to parting ways with one of their key offensive weapons, Amon-Ra St. Brown to the Chicago Bears. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Why would Detroit consider such a move? Well, the insiders suggest that the Lions, who are under a bit of pressure with cap constraints and a roster that's been hit by injuries, might be willing to deal St. Brown, a Pro Bowl wide receiver who's been a cornerstone of their offense, in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 draft. And it's not just about the draft capital. There's a sense that Detroit wants to keep their flexibility, especially after the Pro Bowl, where St. Brown has shown he can be a game changer. St. Brown, for those who might not be fully tuned in, has been nothing short of spectacular this season. He's racked up 75 receptions for nearly 0 yards and 9 touchdowns so far, all while maintaining an elite PFF grade of 88+, a true testament to his consistency and playmaking ability. His EPA per target sits at 0.20, indicating he's highly efficient every time he gets the ball. What really makes him stand out is his yards after catch, high YAC numbers that make him a tough matchup for defenses. His catch rate is solid at 81%, showing reliable hands, and his career stats only reinforce his status as one of the league's top young receivers. Over his career, he's accumulated over 430 receptions for nearly 900 yards and 33 touchdowns, with yards per route run that are among the best in the league. Just in the last few games, St. Brown has been on fire, posting 149 yards against the Giants and averaging over 75 yards per game for the season. That kind of production is exactly what any team looking to boost their passing game would salivate over. Now, it's not just the stats that make him an attractive target. The Lions, despite having a rising star in Amon-Ra, are reportedly cautious about over-relying on players with injury concerns and are prioritizing youth development. Detroit's coaching staff and front office seem to be looking ahead, trying to build a roster that can sustain success in the long run, not just for this season but beyond. So, they might see a trade for St. Brown as a way to capitalize on his value now, especially with the season's stretch run approaching, and then reallocate those resources to other areas of need. On the other side, the Chicago Bears, who currently sit at 9-3 and are flying high, despite the injury to Odun's foot, are in a different position. They've got a young, talented roster that's been improving game by game. The Bears' offense, under the guidance of their coaching staff, has been showing flashes of greatness. They're known for their precise route running and the ability to gain yards after the catch, projected at around 23% more YAC this season. Adding a receiver like St. Brown could be just what they need to push their offensive numbers even higher. Think about it, with St. Brown's ability to generate an additional 200 yards and 15% more first downs, the Bears' offense would become even more dynamic. His presence would bring a Metcalf-like impact, adding about 21 yards per route and roughly 200 more aerial yards, which would complement their current WR core perfectly. Now, the betting odds for this deal aren't just some random speculation. Initially, the odds favored the Lions at plus 800, but as the rumors gain traction, they've shortened to around plus 350, indicating that the possibility of Amon-Ra moving to Chicago is very real. St. Brown could be the X factor that elevates the Bears' offense into the top 6 in the league, and with that, they could see their playoff chances soar by around 19% in EPA per pass. It's a move that would not only strengthen the roster, but also send a clear message that Chicago is serious about contending now and building a long-term dynasty. Imagine the impact of St. Brown's precise route running, his ability to find soft spots in defenses, and his knack for turning short catches into big gains. The Bears' offense, which has been improving steadily, would get a major boost, especially in the red zone and in clutch situations. With Fields leading the charge, adding a receiver with St. Brown's skill set would open up even more options for the offense, making them dangerous for any defense to handle. It's a strategic move that could pay dividends deep into the postseason, and as Bears fans, you should be excited about the potential of having a playmaker of his caliber in navy blue and orange. Of course, it's all speculation for now, but the signs are there. The Lions might be trying to maximize their assets, especially with the pressure to make a deep playoff run, while the Bears are looking to capitalize on their current momentum. If this trade happens, it could be a game changer not only for the Bears, but for the NFC North as a whole. The division has been very competitive, but with a player like St. Brown, Chicago could leapfrog some rivals and establish themselves as the team to beat. This kind of move also reflects the broader trend in the league. Teams are willing to make bold moves, especially around the trade deadline, to position themselves for a championship run. The Bears, with their young core and a franchise quarterback like Justin Fields, are in prime position to be aggressive. Adding a top-tier receiver like St. Brown could accelerate their timeline, turning them into serious contenders in the NFC. Now, I know some of you might be wondering about the specifics. What exactly would Chicago have to give up? Well, the insiders suggest that a second-round pick in 2026 might be enough to land him. That's a relatively modest price for a receiver of his talent, especially considering the impact he could have. And with Chicago's current cap situation and roster flexibility, they might be able to make this work without sacrificing too much in other areas. It's a win-win scenario if the deal goes through, and it would definitely send shockwaves through the league. Looking at the bigger picture, this potential trade indicates that the Bears are serious about competing now. They've been building a foundation with young talent, and bringing in someone like St. Brown would be a statement, showing they're ready to go all in for a deep playoff run and beyond. It's exciting to think about what this could mean for the future of the franchise. A dynamic, explosive offense with Fields at the helm, supported by a receiver like St. Brown, could be exactly what the Bears need to finally break through and contend for a Super Bowl once again. And let's not forget, this kind of move also energizes the fan base. We all want to see our team make bold decisions, and if Chicago can pull off this trade, it would be a clear sign that they're serious about winning. The NFC North is getting more competitive every year, with the Vikings, Packers, and Lions all looking to make their mark. But with a weapon like Amon-Ra St. Brown joining the mix, the Bears could tip the scales in their favor, establishing a new era of dominance in the division. In conclusion, this is one of those stories that you just can't ignore. Whether it materializes or not, the rumors alone tell us a lot about where Chicago is heading. They're not just content to sit back and watch anymore. They're making moves, and this potential deal with the Lions could be the catalyst for a new chapter in Bears history. Keep your eyes peeled, Bears fans, because if this happens, it's going to be a game changer. And you better believe that we'll be here to cover every second of it, breaking down the implications, the stats, and the future prospects of a Chicago Bears team that's ready to take the league by storm. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news.